Item C is, now is the time and the place for a public hearing on general obligation, corporate purpose, and refunding loan agreement. Have you received any written
No, there's
comments
no
regarding that? Do you know what that is? Would you like Adam to tell you that that's authorizing us to borrow money?
That's continuing to proceed with the process of borrowing money.
It just keeps the process in motion, is that right?
Correct. Doesn't approve it, it just keeps the
Just
process
keeps it moving, which is necessary for the bonding that we're going to be doing, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I would argue that there'd be no reason to delay continuing to move forward on that portion of this.
Why does it make it different from the other?
It just allows us to continue to work with Bruin to prepare the paperwork for the budgetary purposes. So it allows me to.
So the bonding, let me ask you this, the bonding takes a certain amount of time for the bonding agent, which is Ruan Securities, to go through all the steps and procedures to develop the bonds for the city's portion of the...
What this would probably mean is that if you approve this, with the intent that you would have approved all of these, he would have had it ready for you to approve the sale of the bonds on the 11th. Now what he will probably do is it gives him additional time to prepare the bonds for sale, likely not until February 25th would be what he would do. Give him more time to prepare them.
How could you prepare for the sale of bonds on the 11th, or how would you have been able to, had you approved all this, without determining what percentage the city was going to undertake and whether it
The
was going
bonding that we're doing is the same regardless at this point. I don't know if you were here at the previous meeting, Carrie, when we discussed this. Going with two separate bonds, a general obligation and a special assessment bond. The general obligation bond would have been at, Ruin says, somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 3% interest. A special assessment bond would have been in the neighborhood of 6.5 to 7% interest. And in order to save the money in the process, the look was to roll it all into a general obligation, with the back funding source could be determined either way at that point.
So you would just go ahead and bond for the whole project?
Correct, regardless of where the
Okay.
funding source is coming from.
Okay, thank you.
Has anybody? Okay. Are there any other comments?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded to close the public hearing on the general obligation corporate purposes of funding loan agreement. Sandy, would you call for a vote, please?
Councilperson Hanson?
Yes.
Huster?
Yes.
Brennan?
Yes.
Brohart?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Then number 1, consideration of resolution number 2013-05 entitled Resolution Taking Additional Action to Enter into a Loan Agreement Authorizing the Use of the Preliminary Official Statement in Connection Therewith. Are you wanting to take action on that?
I'll make the motion for consideration of resolution number 2013-05 entitled Resolution Taking Additional Action to Enter into a Loan Agreement and Authorizing the Use of a Preliminary Official Statement in Connection Therewith.
Is there a second? Motion has been made and seconded to approve resolution number 2013-05. Would you call for a vote, please?
Councilperson Brohart?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Huster?
Yes.
Brennan?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.